If you're an ex-felon in this country, the only thing that is available for you, if you ask for something, the only thing an ex-felon can ask for in this country is his old jail cell back. Y'all didn't hear me on that. In this country, a man can be wanted for whatever, but he can do his time, and then once he's finished with his time, the only thing that an ex-felon in this country can get, and it's wrong, is his old jail cell back. We're going to change that. We're going to change that for every felon in this country to deserve education, welfare, and generosity of this country like you do everybody else. This country needs to know that the ex-felon community, we love America. You didn't hear me when I said that. I said that the ex-felon, the convict community as we're called, we love America too. When we go and get our checks from our labor, from the work that we've done in this country, when we go to the currency exchange, when we go to the grocery store, we pay taxes too. When we go and pay our fines and fees in this country, they don't look and see if we're ex-felons or not. They just say, are you here to pay your fees? This country has been unfair to those of us who have gone and did our time. Those of us who have gone astray in society and have done wrong and have gone and paid your debt to society. Then when you come home looking for opportunities, the opportunities are far and few in between. This election is like no other election in the history of this country. This country potentially could have, for the first time in this country, an ex-felon as its president of the United States of America. Never in the history have this ever been conjured up or been thought of. Even though when you look at the history of this country and look at the men, the founding fathers of this country, you will learn even some of them had background. Even some of the founding fathers of this country, if you look at the record book, you'll see that some of them were slave owners. You'll see that some of them had criminal tendencies, the founding fathers. I am appealing to white America. I'm appealing to Jews and Gentiles and Protestants and Catholics and all of those who have seemed to fear that not only Black America, but everyone who has ever gone through the criminal system, this country feels as though there is no salvaging, there is no re-gentrification, there is no re-establishing, there is no hope for people who have gone off in society and done wrong and did they debt to society. But yet we stand in the midst of a society that feel as though not even the wrongful conviction should be redeemed and should be given another opportunity. But I'm here to tell you that God is disappointed with America. America, God is disappointed that you have failed to live up to your responsibilities and your obligation, not only to the Asian American, not only to the Mexican American, but to the African American also. I am appealing to America at this moment to take the handcuffs off of the ex-felon community in this country. America can never be what it ought to be or what it should be until it begins to resolve this issue of what do we do with the ex-felon community. And there's only one thing you can do with the ex-felon community is the same thing you do with all of the other communities. You open your arms up, you open your heart up, and you make them as part of society as you've done everybody else. I'm calling on America. I'm calling on white America to stand up and to begin to develop a system and a process where every America, brown, black, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, whatever your situation is in America, if you have a strike on your back, if you've been incarcerated, if you've been neglected, if you're homeless, if you are starving, that America will begin the process of realizing that it is only when we come together that all of us are able to survive in this society. I'm calling on Black America this election. I'm calling on Black America this election is an election that will set the pace for the next 100 years. A lot of people will look and see, and they will say, well, you lean this way, or you lean that way. Well, I'm here to let you know that it don't matter which way you lean when God is in the midst. And I'm calling on this country. I'm calling on this country to begin to resolve not only the racial issues that confronts this country, that continues to tear this country apart at the fabric of its seams, until we begin to resolve this issue with not only white Americans, not only Black Americans, not only Hispanics, but all of America who have background, who have gone off and done wrong and did their time. And yet when they come back in society, we continue to discriminate. We continue to neglect. It is time for America to address this situation of the ex-felon community. Give the ex-felon community the same opportunity that you give everybody else. We are tired of America. We're tired, those of us who have gone off and did our time, gave what we had to give to society. But yet when we go and fill out applications, when we go and seek a grant, when we go and seek the resources of this country, the same country that we give our taxpayers money to, the same country when there are swamps and when there's a need for volunteerism, we are the same people who, when we go through a grocery store, we pay our taxes to. So why is it that we continue to be neglected as a community? We're telling America it is time out for this issue of the ex-felon community continue to be neglected, continue to be denied, continue to be unacceptable, to not to be able to be benefactors of the resources of this country. We deserve the resources also. When we go and pay our taxes, they don't ask us if we're an ex-felon. When we go and buy a car, they don't ask us if we're an ex-convict. When we go and pay our intuitions for our children to go in school, when we pay our taxes, our fees, and our fines, when we go into these facilities to pay these fees, nobody asks us if we're an ex-felon. It's only when we come to the resources of this country, when it comes to the opportunities of this country, then discrimination begins to take its hold and ground into society, where we are neglected, where we are denied, where we are not given access to the resources in this country. So this election, like any and no other election in the history of this country, if you are an ex-felon, if you are a person who have a police record, if you are a person who have interacted with the police in this country in any form or fashion, you need to get ready to not only educate yourself about these candidates, not only educate yourself about your responsibility that you have to give back to this country, your responsibility that you have to take time out to register, take time out to understand what is it that these candidates are talking about. Don't get caught up in the okie doke. Don't get caught up into the racism that is taking place. If you don't vote for this person, you're this. And if you don't vote for that person, if all of that is popodox, all of that is just intellectual filthiness. And that's what we got to begin to get rid of, some of our filth, some of our ways, the way we continue to deal with each other in this country. So I've gone off and made mistakes. So I've gone afoul of the law. When I paid the price, when I paid my debt to society, it was time for all of society to begin to stop this madness about denying people, about giving people the back end of the stick and not the front end. It is time that America begin to realize that the black community is just like any other community, like the gay community, the black community, the white community, the Jews and Gentiles. There is no difference in our community as the ex-felon community. We vote to, we pay taxes to, cut us in or cut it out. You don't need to hear me. Cut us in or cut it out. Oaks for votes. Oaks for votes. Oaks for votes. We coming. We coming for justice. Somebody say, well, how do justice look? Have you ever met justice? Have justice ever been in the room with you? And what justice do you bring to the table? We're at a period in this country right now where we don't know if it's right or if it's left, if it's wrong or if it's right. That which is right, some people think is wrong. That which is wrong, some people think is right. We were put forth with this election effort that we are trying not only to invigorate and not only to bring people to the process, to get people educated first. Don't you let nobody tell you to register before they educate you about the process. I'm here to tell you today that America is time out for your foolishness. It's time out for America to continue to point the finger at everybody else, what everybody else is doing. But yet, America, when we talk about what it is that you have to do to begin the process of reinvigorating your members, reinvigorating the residents of this country, bringing together the black, the white, the Jews, the Gentiles, bring together everybody up under one roof. Yes, we can overcome. Yes, we shall overcome. But until those things happen, until we begin to realize that none of us is safe unless all of us is safe, none of us can be secured in this society until all of us is secured in this society. Cut us in, as Reverend Jackson once said, or cut it out. America, we're disappointed in you. The black community is so disappointed in you, we don't even know what to believe in anymore when it comes to America.